if you remember, we had a listening that we didn't complete. Again, on page 25. Okay, so I need you just to remember. So I'm going to let you listen again.
Pages 26 and 27. 8. Page 25. 6. Pronunciation. In English, page 25. 5. Listening. Listen to the lecture about the history of money. Write the date by each form of money. Then number the forms of money in the order they were used.
The first way in which goods were bought was not with money. Instead, people used to trade something of value that they possessed for something they needed. The most common things to trade were cattle and crops, like corn and wheat. So, for example, if you were a farmer, you might trade your corn with a butcher for meat. The butcher might trade his meat with a shoemaker for shoes. This kind of trade was called bartering. Bartering began as far back as 9000 BCE.
So what was the first one, Thalith? You just said it. It means what? Thalith, are you with me? Now listen again to what he said. The first thing that has been used as money.
Bartering began as far back as 9000 BCE.
So it is what? It's called. You can use your mics. Yes, thank you, Rafif. It's called bartering. So you're going to write 1 here. So this is number 1. Okay. And the time was, when did they use the bartering? He said what?
Today.
Today, in this nowadays, do you think? We're talking about BCE in the second one. So this one is going to be, sorry.
9000.
Thank you, Raneem. Raneem, right?
أيوة.
Thank you. So it's going to be 9000 BCE. Okay, pay attention to the second one.
However, there was a problem with bartering. What if someone had something to trade, but no one wanted or needed it? Or what if people could not agree on what was a fair trade? To solve this problem, the first kind of money came about around 1200 BCE in China, where people would use special shells called cowrie shells to purchase goods. These shells were the most widely and longest used form of money in history. In some parts of Africa, these shells were used until the middle of the 1900s. The earliest metal coins were produced in China around 1000 BCE. The coins were made out of an inexpensive metal and had holes in them.
So number 3 was what? After the cowrie shells, we have
Inexpensive metal coins.
Thank you so much, Raneem. So number 3 is going to be inexpensive metal coins, and this was in which year? Or before what? How many years?
1000.
1000 again? BCE. What is the meaning of BCE in Arabic? What do you think, Thalith? يعني قبل الميلاد. Okay, now please
so that
continue
they could be
listening.
put together to make a chain. The earliest coins made of valuable metals were silver coins produced in Turkey around 500 BCE. Coins made of silver, bronze, and gold were soon being used by the Greeks, Romans, and Persians. By
So, number 4, it's what? I need someone rather than Ranim. Okay, listen again.
800 BCE, coins made of silver, the earliest coins made of valuable metals were silver coins produced in Turkey around 500 BCE.
So, yes, Thalith.
Hello teacher.
Yes, Bayadir.
أول واحد.
This one, right?
Yes, he.
Yes, thank you so
No,
much.
he.
You mean this one? Which one you mean, ya Bayadir? Can you read it?
Teacher, can you hear me?
Yes, Ragad, I can.
Okay, good.
Yes, Bayadir. Which one do you think?
Okay.
Would you like to listen again? Would you like to listen? Now listen to what he said.
Than them, so that they could be put together to make a chain. The earliest coins made of valuable metals were silver coins produced in Turkey around 500 BCE.
So he said valuable coins. Where are they, ya Bayadir?
أول واحد بس 500.
Yes, thank you so much. So this is number 4. And it was how many years before?
500
Thank you so much. Very good. 500.
BCE.
Yes, that's very good. Thank you so much. 500 BCE. Thank you, Bayadir. Now let's listen to number 5.
Coins made of silver, bronze, and gold were soon being used by the Greeks, Romans, and Persians. By 800 CE, the first paper money had appeared in China. This form of money eventually became common around the world. At one point, people probably thought the cowrie shells.
So, what do you think number 5 is?
Can I answer?
Yes, Ragad, you can.
Paper money.
Paper money. So now we are in number 5, paper money. And that was?
I forgot. 500,
Okay.
5,000?
Listen again.
Eventually became common around used by the Greeks, Romans, and Persians. By 800 CE, the first paper
800.
money had appeared in China.
Yes. So say it again, please.
800 BCE?
No, it's not BCE, it's CE.
800 CE?
Yes. Thank you so much. So here we have 800 CE. And it appeared in which country, you think?
Greek?
I think he said in China.
This form of money eventually became common around the world. At one point, people probably thought the cowrie shells were going to be used forever. That's how many of us think about coins and paper money now. But money is likely to continue to change. In fact, a new kind of money is already being exchanged over the internet. This money, called electronic money or digital cash, functions like real cash, except it's not on paper. The money in a bank account is converted to a digital code, which can be used to make purchases. While digital cash is very new, it is expected to become common in the years ahead.
So the last one is what? Yes, Thalith? Come on, Thalith.
Electronic money.
Thank you. Electronic money. And that will be...
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Electronic money. We did not use them officially yet, but we're going to use them maybe in the future. So we will say that they are today.
Today?
Thank you so much. Thalith, you have any question? Can I erase this? Maria, can I erase this?
Bayader says no.
Oh, Beata says no. Okay. I'm going to wait for a minute.
Teacher, can I ask you something about page 23?
Yes, please. What was it about?
B and C,
Uh-huh.
I should write like all of them, like B until 8 and C until 6.
Can I see just a minute? Page what, you said?
23.
Page 23. Yes, okay. Exercise what? B or C or what?
B and C.
Mm-hmm. So what is the problem with them?
I should write like all of them from 1 to 8 and from 1 to 6.
Yes, in your book.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so now let's move on, please. Okay, now we have the pronunciation. I need you please to listen and pay attention because I'm going to ask one of you to say the words.
Page 25. 6. Pronunciation. In English, the past tense ending ed has 3 different pronunciations. For verbs that end in the sounds p, k, f, s, ch, or sh, pronounce the ending t, as in worked. For verbs that end in vowel sounds, or b, g, v, z, j, th, j, m, n, ing, o, pronounce the ending d as in opened. For verbs that end in the sounds d or t, pronounce the ending id as in wanted. Listen and practice.
1. They traded something of value that they possessed for something they needed. 2. What if no one wanted or needed it? 3. The first coins were produced in China, and the first paper money appeared in China. 4. Money called digital cash is already being exchanged over the Internet.
Okay.
Page 25. 6.
So, I need Dana. Yes, Dana. Dana, can you turn on your mic? Jude and Rimas, I need you to write an explanation to me in the chat privately why you are late. Okay, Sarah? Yes, can you read the first sentence, please? As you see, at Thalith, we have 3 pronunciation if the verb ends in ed. The verb ends in ed in which tense, Thalith?
Past.
Very good. Thank you, Rahaf. In the past. Now, the verb before the ed ends in a letter. According to this letter, you're going to pronounce the ed. Okay? So, let's see number 1.
They traded something of
They traded.
something of value
Uh-huh.
that they
Possessed. Possessed.
for something they needed.
Thank you so much. So, the verb traded, it's originally what? Without the ed?
In the past.
Yeah, but what is the last letter in the original verb? traded. This is in the past simple. I need the original verb, which is without the ed.
Can I ask? Can I answer? Can I ask?
Yes, you can.
Trade.
Trade, and the last letter is D. According to the pronunciation here, if the verb ends in D, you're going to pronounce it as the ed. You're going to pronounce it as it. So you're going to say traded. It's different from any. It's not all the same. Even if they all end in ed, we pronounce them differently according to the last letter here. Okay. Now, possessed, which ends in what?
Possessed.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes, it's
Ends in
ending ed,
ed.
but originally without the ed, it's end in what? Yes, I pronounce it as ta because the last
S.
thing that I pronounce in the verb is the s. That's why I
Yes.
pronounce the ed as ta. We're talking about how you pronounce ya thalith, the ed. So if the verb originally without the ed ends with s, you're going to pronounce the ed as ta, like worked. Okay. What about needed? It's end in what, ya Jude?
ed.
No, the verb originally ends in what?
I don't know.
The verb originally without the ed ends in what? Which letter?
D.
Jude, are you with me?
Yes.
Yes, so I'm saying that whenever the verb ends in D, like need, this is the original verb. Needed is the past form. The original is need. So this is the last letter, which is D. According to the rule here, if the verb ends in D and I have the ed with it after it, sorry, I'm going to pronounce the ed as it, needed, traded, wanted. Number 2.
Yeah.
Thank you. Number 2, Rimas, can you read number 2, please?
What if no one wanted or needed it?
Yes, so again, wanted and needed, how I pronounce the ed?
Uh,
Do I pronounce the ed ta or da or it?
mm, um,
So Rimas, the original verb of wanted is want. So the last letter is ta. And if the last letter is ta, I pronounce the ed
as in wanted.
yes, so I pronounce it id. What about needed? What is the original verb?
ID.
The D. ثالث، هل فهمتم معي ما هي الرول؟ ثالث، قولي فهمتي أم لا؟
Yeah.
No.
البقية؟ انتظر هيا.
نعم. معلم أنا لم أفهم.
Okay, ريماس, yes. The rest.
حتى أنا معلم ما فهمت الفكرة من الفكرة.
Okay, the rest. طيب. The pronunciation here, we're talking about how to pronounce. كيف أنطق. Okay. ال ED نعرف متى أضعها. أضعها متى؟ في ال past symbol of the verb. Okay. طيب. نفسها هذه ال ED, it has different pronunciations. يعني أنا أنطقها في 3 مواضع. شكلها مختلف كنطق في 3 مواضع. متى طيب؟ أو على أي أساس؟ According to the original verb. يعني الفعل أساسه. Okay. طيب الفعل مثلا work ينتهي بماذا؟ With the K, right? So he's saying the verbs that end in the sound. الverb الأساسي يعني work نهايته with K. Any verb that ends with K or K or F or S or CH or SH, okay? And then ما بعده أنا أضفت ال ED. كيف سأنطق ال ED as ta worked. Okay. Maybe I don't have something in mind now. لكن هذه هي الطريقة، إنه الفعل أساسا ينتهي بحرف بعدها أنا أضيف له ال ED. أنا كيف سأنطق هذه ال ED؟ على حسب الحرف. لو كانت هذه الحروف هذه المجموعة so I'm going to pronounce the ED ال ED نفسها كيف سأنطقها as ta worked. You see, we don't say worked or worked. No, I said worked. Number two, rule number two. If the verb ends in B or G or V, Z or ZH or TH or the others, how I'm going to pronounce the ED? As D. Like what? Like opened. Its end, الفعل أساسا ينتهي بend. So yes, it's one of them. So I'm going to pronounce the ED as D. طيب. If I have the verb ends in D or T as trade, need, want, so I have T or D, then the verb is going to end in what? I'm going to pronounce, sorry, the ED as what? It, wanted, needed, traded. Did you understand?
Yes.
Rimas, did you understand?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Right. Now, because we don't have time, move on. Here we have the vocabulary building. You're going to match the words with their meaning. Okay. Now, I'm going to come through those words, and you're going to guess the meaning. Number one is renew it. Here. What do you think the meaning of this word? Do we all know who is this person in the picture?
Yes.
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
do you think that the people love him, or many people love him?
Yes.
Yes. So the meaning of renewed is what?
مشهور. Known.
Yes, known or famous, someone the people admire or love. Okay. Number two. I have comply with. Here, comply with. What do you think the meaning of comply with? Like in al-Fusha, can you let's say eat gum in front of the teacher, for example?
No.
No. So we say that in al-Fusha you need to comply with the rules there. Don't eat gum. So the meaning of comply with, you need to follow the rules. So you need to comply with the rules.
Obey.
Yes, you're going to obey, you're going to listen, you're going to do the rules very well. Number three, hurdle, which means they have to jump on, what do we call this?
I don't know.
Do you know the meaning of obstacle?
Obstacle. No.
What is the meaning of obstacle? The meaning of hurdle is the same meaning as obstacle, which means
Problem.
yes, a problem that is facing you or something difficult that is facing you. Okay. Then we have implement, which means what? This is implement synonyms, words that means the same thing as implement, accomplish, administer, bring about, carry out, fulfill, execute. What is the meaning of accomplish? You need to accomplish this. You need to do this.
Accomplish or
Yeah, the same
implement?
thing as implement. Those are synonyms. They mean the same thing.
Do something.
Yes, to do something. يعني ينجز. Founder. The founder of Apple is Steve Jobs. What is the meaning of founder?
The person or people that no.
That is what?
No, wait.
Moses.
Yes, thank you, Rimas. So the person who built this company or who owns this company.
Establish.
Yes, yes, established the company. Endowment, which means, what do you think?
منحة.
Yes, yes. The next one is dispute. What do you think those people are? They have an what?
Argument.
Argument. So dispute is to have an argument. Assets, sorry. Sometimes you own something and you have to maybe make it into money, something that is important. I think it's a difficult word and it's new for you. It's called in Arabic الأصول والممتلكات. Okay? Okay. So what you're going to do, Thalith, is that you have those words. You're going to match them with their meaning. What is your homework? Pay attention, please. You're going to write a sentence of each one of those words. So how many sentences you're going to write?
8.
8 sentences. Like, how I'm going to see those sentences? You're going to write them on your notebook and you're going to send it to me في هذا تواصل مع معلم.
Okay.
Okay? Any question?
Like we do it in Word?
Yes, yeah. You can, no, not in Word, sorry, in your notebook. And take a picture and then send it to me. I need to see it in your notebook.
Okay.
Tariq, do you have a question? Like, can you just wait until I take the attendance? So if you heard the name, please say yes. Bayadir? Bayadir, are you here?
Yes, teacher.
Jude?
Yes.
Dana? طيب دانا لم ترد لذلك سأحسب غياب. رغد؟
Yes.
رفيف؟
Yes.
ريماس؟
Yes.
رهف؟
Yes.
ريما؟
Yes.
سارة؟
Yes.
سلين؟
Yes.
شفيقة؟ شفيقة؟ شهد؟ غدي؟
Yes.
غدي؟ أوكي فرح؟
Yes.
ماريا؟
Yes.
ناجية؟
Yes.
رنيم؟
Yes.
Okay, so have a nice day. I'm going to complete the rest tomorrow.